Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And for this movie review, in the past, a couple of people have asked me to review this film, and I'm going to. But also, like recently in some time, people have been asking me to review a couple more. And this is what is these next few reviews are gonna be at some people's requests. So there's gonna be three movie reviews that people have been asking me the most about the review. So this one, the first one I'm reviewing is The Adventures of Elmo in Grouchland, and the other ones, next ones I'm gonna be reviewing are the Emperor's New Groove and the Disney film, and then DreamWorks' Over the Hedge. So people have been asking me to review these ones, and I'm gonna give it to you. So, the first one I'm reviewing is Adventures of Elmo in Grouchland. And now Adventures of Elmo in Grouchland. It's the second Sesame Street film. First one being Follow the Bird, which I reviewed a while back. Enjoyed it, to remind me, just growing up with watching Sesame Street. But Elmo and Grouchland, it's a likable film for both. Well, mostly for kids. I know it's mostly for kids, though. But maybe I could say, on the retrospect, for some people, from adults, can like the film. But it's mostly it's mostly a kids' film. But I like the film. I think I still say I like Follow the Bird. Follow the Bird better. Follow that bird, not the. It's that. Um, and of course, this is a film. It's this stories on all about Elmo. Because like in the 80s, Follow That Bird, Elmo was not. He was barely in the film. Like I think he was only at the end of the film. Because back then, Elmo wasn't a very big character back in the day. He was mostly on Big Bird, Snuffleupagus, and Count, and Cookie Monster, and all the other main Sesame Street characters. Back then, Elmo wasn't that big of a thing, but now, till the late years, he has been. Like, I remember well, of course I won't remember, but growing up, I think it was like in the 90s, then when they came out with the Tickle Me Elmo, the toy, everyone went crazy for those. But, Elmo's become a good popular character throughout the years, and I still like Elmo, I still do. But Big Bird's always been the favorite. Like, along with Cookie Monster, the Count, Bert and Ernie, Grover, Oscar the Grouch, Telly, and Snuffy. All those classic Sesame Street characters. And but this one it was released in 1990. It was released in 1999, and it was directly produced by the Jim Henson's company. And this is also the last Muppet theme film that for Frank Oz, who retired for being a full-time puppeteer the following year. So, and Jim Henson's company, wonderful job, with all the puppets, and the production is used well, for a budget that it had. It was for the settings of the Grouchland and the land and all that stuff. It's used well, especially for the puppets. Well made. And the film came out. It did horrible because the 1999 didn't have that too many family themed films, and people just weren't. It won over. It won critics over. It has a 77% Rotten Tomatoes, but on IMDb has a 5.8 though, but 77% Rotten Tomatoes. Follow That Bird has a higher rating though, but critics enjoyed it. But unfortunately, it didn't fare well in the box office. It did poorly. It has a $26 million budget. It only made 11, so it was a box office flop, sadly. But I still like the film. Just for the nostalgic, of growing up with Sesame Street as a kid, along with all the ones that I grew up with, along with Barney and Friends and all those other, also like Tom's the Tank, Shiny Time. One of those they appeared on PBS or I forget what the other channel was, but and the story is how it opens up. You have Bert and Ernie. They're introducing the audience to the movie, because we say audience not because back when it came to theaters it's showing, oh, the audience, look at that audience, and it tells it how it's a film also is all about Elmo. So they're introducing us to the film, and I like that the fact that it was that it shows that Elmo has his own, like, in a world. You know how in the show Elmo's World, where it's just him, it's just him behind a green. It's all entire green. It's a whole entire green screen altogether. Here, if it's like in Elmo's World, he has his own room. It's actual stuff in it. An actual bed, toys, and all that stuff, instead of like just a green screen on the show on Elmo's World. So, and he loves his blanket. Yeah, that's the thing. This is his thing. His obsession with his blanket. Singing a song, takes it to the laundromat, and then everyone starts singing in the laundromat. People, I know people probably think it's all that still because people are thinking it's how Sesame Street is. There's sing-alongs and all that stuff. And then you see Big Bird and the human characters like Gordon, Maria. And one thing is that Elmo sees Zoe. She's this orange. I remember also another character. I remember Zoe. She is a little bit sad because her father didn't want to take her to the zoo, and one thing leads to another. Zoe sees blanket and she wants to hold it, but it's funny that Elmo's kind of being a bit of a more of a douche, basically, but because he doesn't want to share the blanket. It's his blanket. It's mine, 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 and it makes a little slight tear in the blanket, and it says, "Oh, you're not my friend anymore." And then Telly, he's roller skating. He gets in the way because the blanket's in the middle. He gets in the way. He takes the blanket. Elmo goes after, and then he's Telly, so he can't stop because he's on the skates, and he goes past Cookie Monster and what's the door is the revolving door. Cookie Monster is whoa, whoa when he drops his cookies, and then one thing is that Grover sees them and goes to change it to Super Grover. Useless though because he doesn't do anything as Super Grover. And then the blanket fly that lands in Oscar the Grouch's hands, sneezes into it and throws into his trash can. And Oscar, Elmo, he can't wait longer, so he goes and jumps into his trash can, which outside it's just a normal trash can, but if you jump into his trash can, it's like a whole new world down underneath. So it's like his trash can's like connected directly to the ground of a whole new world underneath, into his world where he has his own room down there, and there's this doorway where him and Elmo get sucked into this new dimension, and it's the land to it's leads into the world of Grouchland, basically, where a bunch of Grouches live, which they don't want. They're cranky and irritable, and they just don't want to do anything to help anybody. It's like, oh, beat it, or they get into the song where welcome to Grouchland, now scram. Yeah, scram. But then they get interrupted by, there's this helicopter comes in, they get this human character named Huxley, and it's played by Mandy Patinkin, which for the one movie that I remember him mostly was in The Princess Bride. He was a character Inigo Montoya, prepared to die and all that stuff. And I liked him in that movie, Princess Bride, and I like Princess Bride, and I liked him in that role. And I thought Mandy Patinkin, there he is right there. His character is that his is a villain. He just takes everything from them because everything he takes is his. It's mine. Bing. Oh, this is mine. Bing. This is mine. And I thought Mandy Patinkin. I know it's supposed to be for characters who be in the Sesame Street. It's hard to know to be that kind of goofy or a little over the top and stuff. But Mandy Patinkin. I think he was a little bit fun. It looks like in the film, he looks like he is having fun because he's in a Sesame Street movie. Come on, so it looks like he was having a little bit of fun in the role. So he takes his blanket, and he has his little sidekick character named Bug because he's a bug. Takes off, and saying, why doesn't no one help? Why do you just let him take all your stuff? And because they think that Grouch's can't work together to join forces against him. So that's why. But there is this little girl, Grouch named Grizzy. Shows him to where he lives. And then back up in Sesame Street, Oscar tells him where Elmo went. So they form a group and they all go down there into the trash because there's a scene where Gordon is trying to stuff Big Bird down his trash can down below. So Gordon, Maria, Big Bird, Telly, Cookie Monster, Oscar, Zoe. I think I don't think Grover went down there either. No. Yeah, I think it was this Big Bird, Cookie Monster, Telly, Zoe, and I said Big Bird, and Gordon and Maria. And also some between the movie stops because Bert and Ernie are telling us, oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to Elmo? Is this gonna be a good or is this gonna be bad and all that? They do that throughout the movie though, which. At one point, it doesn't bother me because, hey, it's Bert and Ernie. But at the same time, they did that. I would have been fine if they just did it with the introduction. Hey, enjoy the movie and all this. But, it becomes a little bit of annoyance because they keep on stopping to tell us what's going to happen next. I mean, I think we can just play out that what's going to happen next, how it's all going to end. But it's just to tell us, the audience, because we're in the theater, because, But it doesn't bother me, though, because it's Bert and Ernie, but sometimes you just don't have to continue this whole trend of stopping because, Bert's like, what's going to happen next? So, but I'm 50-50 on that. So it doesn't bother me at some time, but it's a running gag that is, like, overdoing it, basically. But, But as Elmo continues going through his like Huxley is trying to stop him, like going to this mine, which just reminds me any instance when you're going through a mine in a mine cart, instantly get reminded of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, with a mine cart chasing. It's because anyone in case who tries to there's any scene with involving going through a tunnel in a mine cart, instantly reminds of Temple of Doom. And Elmo's looking like he's having fun. He's like, wee! I can do a good impression of Elmo. I can just like, but he gets to the tunnel, and witnesses where they make him take a detour to the trash dump. And while that's going on, while the gang are searching for Elmo, they're in Grouchland. And saying, would somebody help us? And they get thrown in jail. Because because apparently asking for help in Grouchland is against the law there, so that's why they're thrown in jail. But and Elmo, oh, there's a little fly that's flying around here. So he goes to this big trash dump, and he gets taken. He's talking trash creatures. They're taken to the trash queen, and then it's the trash queen is played by Vanessa Williams. Now, the only film that I mostly remember her from is she's when another film I reviewed a while back. She starred in the badass action film with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Eraser. It's the film where Arnold Schwarzenegger has to protect her. I've already reviewed this, so you can check that out though. But that was the last film that I remember from with the star Vanessa Williams. I liked her in Eraser. Here I thought she was decent. She's like she sings a song, the Trash Queen and all that, and it says that how they think that he's a spy for Huxley, and thinking that prove yourself, that give something to me because Huxley, he never shares, and to prove him that he's not like any cahoots with Huxley, has to give some during. She says 100 raspberries in 30 seconds, and it's like, it's not raspberry, it's not the fruit, it's this. Which, I would say that is kind of like a silly thing, doing this, and also the thing is, Elmo would turn to face the audience, saying, "Oh, will you help me?" Because this thing, it's movie, it's we're involved in this movie because to help Elmo, because you hear audience, cheers in the watching the film as well. It's like, yay, or right there, or yay, whatever. So he's asking to help us to do this. And which, when the time starts, it sounds like depends on the audience to do the thing for him, which looks like he's barely doing it, though we usually do. So, but time's up. He wins. He gets to go. Until that and then Huxley, he gets to sing his little song. I take and it becomes mine. I thought it was a decent song. And that's one thing the song. There's a couple songs I like in the film, but overall, it's just I don't get in tune with the songs in this, because even though it's like part of Sesame Street, though, I just never got in tune with the songs. Even though in this film, there are a couple of songs I think are decent, though, like this one when Mandy Patinkin is singing. I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty decent. It was like, oh, I take it and it becomes mine, and how the song goes. Because it looks like he's okay. It looks like he's having fun with the role. He's it's a kids film, so. And then one lists another that Oscar, because they're all in jail still. He's telling all of the Grouches, like, hey, you let Huxley take your things and you didn't do anything about it. So he tells him just to. He basically tells us just to work together. It's like he takes our goo, we do that's what we do, and something like that. And now he gets everyone's out of jail, and they all go towards his house. And Elmo gets there to get his blanket. And which is also another thing was because what I forgot to say that when he was with the Trash Queens, that Howie's not like Huxley, because he gets reminded that what he did with Zoe, kind of acts like Huxley, because he was being selfish, not sharing. Mine. Yeah, he was kind of reminded of that as well, to prove that he was not like Huxley. So he gets there, he gets his blanket, but he gets captured in this crane, and while everyone else storms the way, but everything turns out fine. They just drop this basket on him, and Bug, the Bug character, tells him that you are selfish and greedy, and I don't want no part with you anymore. And he doesn't get a good come up. It's he just gets a basket dropped on his head, and they don't do anything. They don't throw him in jail or anything. They just basically let him go. So it wasn't much of that, though. Because he's not. an evil villain. He's just a guy who takes things and just doesn't want to share, basically. But they don't do anything like, oh, since we're taking all our stuff, you don't get thrown in jail. So, and then also they just get teleported back, because they say Oscar Noah says he knows a shortcut, but you don't see it. They just teleport back to Sesame Street, and Elmo gives Zoe his blanket to share, and supposedly Elmo says goodbye to everybody, and then Bert and Ernie, they know that as the film ends, as they leave too, and Bert sees the credits going. But so yeah, Elmo and Grouchland. I like the film. I still why I like Follow the Bird better, because it has that because that was made in the '80s, so I got that oldies feel to it. And plus, we got more. Well, you only got two celebrity appearances in Mandy Patinkin and Vanessa Williams. While in Follow That Bird, you get some other well-known actors. You have cameo appearances by Chevy Chase, even John Candy, and you have even Dave Thomas, and he's basically more like a villainous role, along with the guy. I forget who the guy's name. The guy who starred in Happy Gilmore, who said Jackass all the time. Who was his partner in crime. Because I like Dave Thomas, because from Strange Brew and. But yeah, you got Chevy Chase in a cameo appearance, and John Candy. Be a man. I don't want to be a man. And even the songs, like, I think I still like some of the songs better in The Fall of the Bird than this one. Well, there's like the ones like sent this Big Bird singing, Easy Going, or the song that Waylon Jennings was singing, Ain't No Road Too Long. Or yeah, there were songs I thought that were better though. And although that film didn't do well at the box office either, even though it was like critically acclaimed. So these films got won over with critics, but they just don't perform well because why? Because it's just Sesame Street. Maybe with a film like this, because Barney's first big adventure, that didn't do well either. I guess shows are based like on children's TV shows are not supposed to be do well at the box office, I guess. But and plus I think that probably because the film was all about Big Bird, because I love Big Bird growing up, and I like Elmo though, but it's just I just got more to it from Follow That Bird than Elmo and Grouchland though. But regardless, I still like the film. It was Mandy Patinkin. It looked like he was having fun with the role. Vanessa Williams was fine for the little role she had in that little scene. The production value I thought was used well with the puppets, Elmo and all the other characters. The puppetry was used, and the settings and how the Grouchland looks, even Sesame Street for the little bit of it. It was also always nice to see, Cookie Monster. The Count was there too. Bert and Ernie, Big Bird. Although Snuffleupagus was not in this, though, sadly, though, because I like Snuffleupagus, Big Bird's best friend. Because there was that thing, because I think that everyone was thinking that Snuffleupagus was a figment of Big Bird's imagination, but the whole time he was real. But yeah, I would like, but even though Snuffy was not in this, didn't bother me though. But I would like to see him in the film, even for a cameo appearance. But the film just didn't do well, and I don't think. Oh, the thing that one of the things that did well with money wise was the Muppet movies. I think there was a couple of them that flopped though, but a lot of them were hits, including like the one from 2011 and 2014. The Muppet movie and Muppets Most Wanted. But all the other previous Muppet movies as well, like In Space or the Christmas Carol one. But I still like the film. For the retrospect that Sesame Street was a part of the thing as a kid, growing up, along with the other ones I named off of. But I still like Elmo and Grouchland. It was fun to watch. Nitpicks. I don't think I probably said a few, but I can't remember now because I forgot. But on that though, yeah. So I like Elmo Grouchland. It was kid friendly fun. Just so. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned on the next ones that I'll be doing for the people who requested. So the next one will be my review of The Emperor's New Groove, and then following that is Over the Hedge. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned on the next on The Emperor's New Groove. Later.